Football experiences deja vu. Women's soccer's season ends on a sour note, and volleyball dominates again and closes in on first place. Hi, my name is Gabe Newman, having a very bad hair day, and this is your EIU Sports Weekly Catch-Up. EIU football hosted UT Martin on Saturday off the back of a rough loss to Charleston Southern the previous week, looking for a bounce-back victory and to play spoiler against a Skyhawk team that was still in the hunt for a conference title. Coming down to the final minutes of regulation, UT Martin was able to score a touchdown to bring them within 1 point. The Skyhawks would have been forced to go for two. However, Panther kicker Drew Schiller had one of his extra points blocked in the second quarter, and UT Martin was able to tie it with an extra point. The Panthers got the ball back, though, with 46 seconds to go. Cole LaCrue, who was having a career day through the air in this game, took advantage of another roughing the passer penalty as he did last week, and once again got Eastern into field goal range. Schiller had a 41-yard attempt to win it, but he pushed it wide right, and the game went into overtime. Eastern won the overtime coin toss and defended first, and UT Martin took the ball and scored. Eastern was forced to answer with a touchdown of its own, but first they needed to convert on a 4th and 1.
The crew is brought down for a loss. There are no penalty markers on the field. The game is over.
That was how the Panthers lost the game, and 27-20 was the final score. Cole LaCrue, like I said, had his best game throwing the football as a Panther. He completed 14 of his 18 passes for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Connor Wolf completed all 5 of his passes for 100 yards, and he threw a touchdown as well. The Panthers fell to 3-6 and lost their 4th straight game. They're now 2-4 in the OVC Big South. The women's soccer season is now over after the Panthers lost in the quarterfinals of the OVC Women's Soccer Championships on Sunday. Eastern watched from the stands as SEMO and Southern Indiana played each other in the first round on Thursday. Southern Indiana walked away from that game with the win by 2-0. That set up a quarterfinal game against the Panthers on Sunday, but a quick-fire double by the Screaming Eagles was too much for Eastern to come back from, and the Panthers fell to Southern Indiana 3-0. Eastern ends the season on a 4-game losing streak, but it was a successful season for the program despite the ending. The Panthers set a record with 7 consecutive clean sheets, the 3rd longest stretch without conceding a goal in program history, and longest in the OVC in the non-overtime era. Ella Cradaville was named the OVC Goalkeeper of the Year, while Camille Graves was named Co-Freshman of the Year and named to the All-OVC Newcomer team. Alex Teta finishes as the team's top goal scorer with 8 tallies and was named to the All-OVC First Team along with defender Colleen Bauer. The Panthers finished with an overall record of 8-8-3, the program's highest win total since 2007. Men's soccer wrapped up the regular season last week and now turns its attention to the postseason. On Thursday, the Panthers became just the 2nd team this season to leave Lindenwood without losing. Guy Graccanano scored from a free kick to level the game just before halftime, and the game ended with Lindenwood in a 1-1 draw. That result, mixed with other results from around the league, saw both Lindenwood clinch the regular season title and become just the 2nd team in OVC men's soccer history to do so, and Eastern clinched a spot in the OVC men's soccer championships for the first time since 2023. Sunday's game against SIUE was still meaningful, though, as Eastern was fighting with the Cougars for seeding and pride, considering the men's soccer program hasn't beaten SIUE since 1997. Fabricio Roberti scored to put the Panthers ahead in the first half, but the Cougars scored off the rebound from a penalty kick just a few minutes later to level the game and then took the lead in the second half. SIUE dominated the ball and won the game and walked away winners by 2-0. Eastern goes into the tournament as the 6th seed, taking on the 3 seed, Liberty. Brenda Torres finished in 2nd place in the women's 6K race as the women's cross-country team finished 4th altogether at the OVC Championships on Friday. Torres ran a 21-minute and just over 4-second time, which is within a second of the school record. Collapsing to the ground after crossing the finish line, Torres laid it all out there and is the first Daily Eastern News Panther of the Week. The OVC Championships were hosted by Eastern. The men's team also finished 4th as a unit, led by Michael Atkins' 9th place finish. Cale Smith was the 2nd finisher for the Panthers men team. Volleyball was back at home for 2 games against UT Martin, a team near the bottom of the OVC standings. The Skyhawks had trouble returning Katie Kopchever's serves, and she delivered 9 service aces across the 2 games. Kopchever had 29 kills across the 2 games and is the 2nd Daily Eastern News Panther of the Week. In Thursday's Game 1, the Panthers swept thanks to a career-high 5 aces from her. Kopchever was the kills leader in that one as well with 13. Eastern won 25-20, 25-15, and 25-21. Friday's game was a little more competitive as it required 4 sets for the Panthers to win. After Eastern dominated 25-12 and 25-14 in the first 2 sets, the Skyhawks put it together in set 3, 25-20, before the Panthers closed it out 25-21. The start of the basketball season, while it has happened prior to me recording this, will be discussed in next week's version of the weekly recap. Finally, here's what's coming up this week in EIU sports. Men's soccer plays Liberty on Sunday in the OVC Men's Soccer Championships. Volleyball has 2 games down in Nashville against last place Tennessee State. If the Panthers take care of business on the road, it'll set up a potential battle for first place at home next week against Morehead State. Cross-country is idle this week ahead of both teams' trips to Oklahoma for regionals. Women's basketball takes on Purdue on Thursday following Monday's season opener against Drake. Men's basketball plays Nichols following the season opener against Valpo. And again, we will discuss the start of basketball season in next week's video. Finally, football plays its final home game of the season on Saturday. The seniors will be honored ahead of the Panthers matchup against the Tennessee Tech team that hasn't lost a game in over a calendar year and is ranked in the top 10 among FCS teams in the country. To stay up to date on everything going on as the fall season departs and the winter season arrives, follow the Daily Eastern News on Instagram, X, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, and check out our website, dailyeasternnews.com.